All right, it's a rematch of a team we played the first game of conference play, which was probably the first week of January, and we were fortunate to come out there with the win. And but it's a much improved Texas A&M team. Mitchell kid he's really playing awful well, shooting the ball well. They're one of the top shot block teams in our league. Nebo and Mekalu, those guys are very, very athletic. And, of course, we know about Starks. Though he had a big game against us, and we've got to do a much better job of building that wall and keeping him out of the lane. He's really dangerous when he can get downshift and get down north and south in that lane and find those guys up under the basket or find those guys spotting up. So, and I think one of the concerns that we got to rebound the basketball. I thought when we played down there, I thought we did a good job of getting some offensive rebounds, and I think that's going to be big in this game here. And of course, with our team, having dropped some games, obviously confidence is the biggest thing that we got to come out and play with. And so having the opportunity to play at home, hopefully our guys come out with the energy that you're going to need this time of the year.
Started a different lineup for the second half the other night. Would you consider starting those guys in the game, or are you thinking about shaking up the lineup?
Well, there's a possibility of shake-up. There is a possibility of that. We had a pretty productive practice yesterday, and those guys were in full. So I just thought in the second half, I thought they brought the things that we need. Most times your team's going to mirror your coach, and of course with so many inexperienced guys. But the one thing I always think our guys are going to do, they're going to fight. And I thought in the second half, even though Auburn had a big lead, I thought our guys, they fought defensively, offensively. They played together. And so hopefully that's going to be a good sign as we get ready for A&M game. Different game, different team. Again, someone we played before.
How do you think if those guys do start, how do you think they do? And sometimes is it just good to shake things up when you lost some games?
Well, just again, I'm trying to get guys going to go out there and, with the team, you want to put the guys out there going to give you the things that you need, and we need defense. We need some great defense, and we need some get the tempo up and down the floor. We got to get guys got to do a better job of helping, our scores get open. Just watching the tape, we're doing a lot of standing, and sometimes that could be some guys that hit the wall, and so now you got to maybe get some energy out there on the floor. I think some new blood, so to speak.
I know you never want to force anything, but for Daniel to get 5 shots, I know they were kind of collapsing on him. What do you need to do to get him more involved? And I guess it's probably obvious to think that he needs more than 5 shots a game.
Well, I think number one is you look how they were playing them. They just packed it in on them. So obviously Daniel didn't force it. We missed him at times. I think we did. We missed him at times. But I think, it's got to be a combination of our guys making sure that, when he's open, let's get the ball to him. But at the same time, their defense is geared to just packing it in on him. So now that means guys got to make shots in order to open the floor and get spacing. And I think spacing is a big key. Our mindset is to start the game inside out. And I know our guys know what we're trying to do. But of course, their defense has something to do with that as well. They people have really just kind of backed in on him and making it difficult for him. But I think the tempo of the game has a lot to do with that as well. You get him up and down the floor, you're utilizing, the gifts that he brings to the game. His instincts, his talents. He's not just a power player. That's not what he is. He's one of those guys you got to get some space and you got to get some screen and roll action. We talked about that. So, but the mindset is to get it started inside so we can maybe get to the free throw line. And he got to the free throw line, I think, a little bit.
During those 2 big lulls in these last 2 games, is there anything you put your finger on? Do you feel they start panicking, maybe jacking up threes, or just trying to force it to Daniel, or just kind of what is it?
Well, I think with young guys or inexperienced guys, sometimes they play as a jump shots. They make shots, then obviously it energizes other things, and then we ain't making shots. What are you doing to help the team? And that's been my message to our guys. What are you doing? Are you taking charges? Are you getting loose balls? Are we creating some off of our defense? And and I think those are some of the things that we're not doing at this particular time, and just big loss. The game here at A&M, it was mostly live ball turnovers. I thought that did us in there. We didn't even get shots. Sometimes I'd rather see a bad shot, than a live ball turnover. But with the Auburn game, I thought we didn't make shots, and obviously we know their team that if they can get off to a great start, and we allowed them to get on that 3-point line, then they can make it awful difficult for us. You're always trying to go upstream to catch up, and that's what took place in that game.
Mike, you talked about, hoping your guys can play with confidence Saturday night. When you've lost 4 in a row, what do you need to do as a coaching staff to give them confidence? Is that maybe where a lineup change could help energize things?
I think, number one, with where this team has come from to where they are right now, I think the biggest part is, there's only 2 games we hadn't really been in. I think the Tennessee game and maybe the last game we played. They've been in every game. It's about making plays at the right time. And so it's not like they hadn't been playing good basketball. Obviously, I've got to do a better job of getting them over the hump, as I said, and that falls on me. I can get them, to the finish line, but now we got to make plays to get over the hump, and that's what we hadn't done. And so, with that being said, I still don't think we played our best basketball. I really don't. And that means, but it's got to start with our defense. I think that's got to be the trigger. Our defense is what's going to enable us to do the things we want to do. And then I think that puts you in position, offensively, because now you're creating some havoc defensively. You get some easy opportunities. Your defense is playing at a high level. And then, of course, you got to make shots. And we got to take advantage of the advantage we have. Daniel is one of those talents that we got to take advantage of. And but you got to make shots. I think that's it. When you got your leading shooters, scorers that are going, I think 6 for 27. 6 for 27, and I think it was 3 for 20 from the 3-point line. Something, I don't know what it was, but you're not going to win many games like that.
And you look at A&M, they won 3 out of 4. That's their best stretch in SEC play. How well are they playing? And it seems like they play better on the road than they do at home, the games I've watched.
Well, they're playing well. I think they're playing better. I think, you look back when we played them early in the year. It was 2 teams trying to find their identity. They were young, and of course we were young at that time. And obviously through the course of playing games, those guys have got a little season. And I really think the Mitchell kid is really playing well. And of course Starks, whether he starts or not and comes off the bench, it doesn't matter. He's like a starter. So when you get him playing at a high level, and Nemo and McAloo, they got some pretty talented players. And the Flag kid is a very good basketball player. So I think they're starting to play the way that Billy thought they would be playing, and so that's why I say this game here is probably be totally different than the last game we played. I think it's going to be a heck of a ball game because 2 teams still continue to try to find a way to find wins at this time of the year.
How do you explain kind of the ups and downs? Mason's going Thursday, goes for 30 Saturday, and then just 4 on Wednesday.
First-year player, that's what you call it. I think that's what it is. People are scouting them, they're getting at them a little bit, and and that's part of our, probably the things that take place with our team when you're talking about up and down. Inconsistency. Night in and night out, you want to make sure that you got certain guys going to bring something to the table. And with our team, it's different nights, and then the nights we're consistent, I think that's when we play some of our better basketball. I think when we had the stretches where we played well, those guys have played well. So he's had some open looks and just didn't knock them down. And but my in talking with Mason is what else are you doing to help the team win? There are other things you can do to help the team win.
Mike, I think Adriel didn't play the second half the other night. Was he okay physically, or was that just more, hey, the game's kind of out of hand, let's let some younger guys play?
Yeah, he was okay. He was okay physically. I thought those guys were playing well. I thought Reggie and Gabe, I thought they were playing well.
Anything else?
Okay. All right, thank you. All right.